from UFA, and the title of the
and apparently this is the person who last moment informed that she could come. So we have another speaker. This is the Shenkarev, president of Shenkarev. Yes. And I will try to translate the title: Structural Studies of Potential Sensitive Domains of Cation Channels, from interactions with ligand to thermodynamics of folding for membrane proteins in vitro.
I'm sorry, due to time limitation, we will talk only about first part, about interaction with ligands.
That's very kind of you.
Okay, because thermodynamics is
also from the Shemyakin-Ovchinnikov.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I would like to express my thanks to the organizing committee for inviting me here. I would like to talk about structural biology, about the NMA of isolated voltage-sensing domain of potassium and sodium channels. Here you can see the classical picture of a tree of a voltage-lake family of ion channels, which includes the potassium, sodium, calcium channels, and also TP receptors. These channels all involved in development of serious diseases, and also they are promising as target for development of new medication to overcome diseases of nervous system and cardiovascular system and muscular system. If we look on the structure of, for example, potassium channels, we see that this channel composed from 5 domains, 1 core domains and 4 voltage sensing domains. These domains are loosely associated with each other, and if they look deeply inside the high resolution crystal structure, they see that the voltage sensing domain are separated from the core domain by a thin layer of lipids. This means that probably we could isolate this voltage sensing domain and study it in isolated form out from the channel complex, and it probably could behave as normal membrane protein. The one important point, what the voltage sensing domain consists of 4 transmembranous helices, termed S1 to S4, and the 4th helix have usually 4 cathodic charge that move through membrane during voltage-gated activation of the channel. Why the studies of voltage sensors is important? Because these domains possess unique binding site, and the sites could be targeted to provide new medication, for example, for anticonvulsant drugs, and the sensor change its conformation from up states observed upon the polarization of membrane, then S4 helices in contact with outer solution charges on the S4 helices, and the down state of sensor, and this charge contact inner solution inside the cell, and if we block this pathway, we could influence the activation of the channel and make some drugs that could be very good to beat the epilepsy or certain or other diseases. This started our investigations of voltage sensing domain more than 5 years ago, starting from the archaeal prototypic KvAP channel from the Archeon. It's KvAP channel. They express isolated domain and studied this by NMR and found that we capture upstate of the voltage sensing domain, then the helix S4 and charges only contact outer solution. What we observed interestingly in these studies, because we use NMR, we could not only obtain some picture of charge, but we could obtain the dynamics of the molecule. They observed that helices, transmembranous helices of this domain are move relative to each other with characteristic time of microseconds to milliseconds, and we could speculate that these movements are echoes of large-scale information transitions that take part in the domain upon voltage-gated activation. thus the domain is not solid. The system of this is a fluid system, and our data agree with previously proposed pedal model of activation. The S3 and S4 loop helices hairpin slided against the stable S1, S2 helical hairpin, and this movement led to activation of the domain and after to activation of the channel. For potassium channel is also situation simple, but the most the difficult to study is the eukaryotic sodium channels, because all 4 subunits of these channels are connected in one long polypeptide chain. This channel consists of about 2,000 of residues, and the protein of this side would be very difficult to express, difficult to purify, difficult to handle, and difficult to crystallize and to study. And they think, so if our divide and conquer approach could be applicable to these channels also. They took isolated voltage-sensing domain from second pseudo-subunit of this channel. How to obtain the material for NMR study, because it requires a lot of protein. The cell-free expression helps us, because these cell-free systems permit to synthesize about any hydrophobic sequence and large amounts and label it with stable isotopes. And so we could stabilize the domain and study its secondary structure and dynamics in micelles which mimic membrane environment of the domain. If we compare our secondary structure with predicted secondary structure from Unicode database, for example, we observe additional helices, for example, S0, S2A, S23, and more important, we see that helix S4 is not continuous. The alpha helical conformation in the middle of it, between first and second conserved green residue, is distorted. If we look on the slow microsecond per second timescale dynamic, they also observe the characteristic pattern of motions what previously were found upon the study of KvAP channel in the middle of S1, S2, S3, and on the terminus of S4-5 helix, they observe such motions. But if we look on the fast dynamics on the peak and nanosecond time scale, we found that whole domain molecule accomplish motions, but low amplitude motions, but still detectable motions, with characteristic time about 1 nanosecond. What's the reason of these motions? The first reason is maybe when we isolate our domain from the channel complex, we partially denaturated, it could not fold correctly. The other reason is maybe the faster dynamic is the natural feature of the voltage sensing domain from sodium channels, because these channels should be activated faster upon rising of potential than potassium channels, and maybe this dynamical feature reflects these faster activations of these channels and these domains. If we compare our secondary structure with secondary structures of known potassium and sodium channels, we observe good correspondence with structures of NAV channels from bacteria. For example, helix S2A is conserved, helix S23 is conserved, and more important, our distortion in the conformation of S4 helix observed by NMR nicely correspond with 310 helices observed in the NAV-IB channel and in chimeric NAV-IB channel with parts of human water sensor. The second part of my talk was devoted to studies of interaction of water sensing domain with toxins. And here the prototypical example is water sensor toxin from spider. It interacts with KvAP channel and probably block its in activated state. It means that it blocks sensor in up conformation. But there are contradictory data. The other group measure activity of this toxin on chimeric channel, Shemyakin-KvAP, and observe that toxin block sensor in down conformation and interacts with S3B helix, as shown here, using side-directed mutagenesis, what was done. But a recent study using NMR shows that toxin interact with S4 helix, and this helix located on the other side of the center. The question now arises, what's the primary site of interaction of this toxin with this sensor? And we also try to study this toxin and our sensor with NMR. First of all, we found that toxin is membrane active and binds to membrane and micelles. And most surprisingly, we observed that the toxin could interact not only with S4 helix, but also could interact, selectively interact, specifically interact with S1, S2 loop of the water sensor. Using NMR data, we obtain the binding interfaces in the complex and relative orientation of ligands, and using molecular modeling with the help of Anton Chubunov, they made this structure of this complex, this structure based on NMR data. Indeed, we see here that the toxins with C-terminal domain interact with S4 helix, but N-terminal domain of the toxin interact with S1 and S2 helix with S1, S2 thus we could propose that the mechanism of action of this toxin, the toxin suppress the movement of S4 helix relative to stable in membrane hairpin formed by S1 and S2 helices. And we could also speculate that the usage of S1, S2 loop as the primary target for binding of toxin permit the toxin to bind to us with to the sensor in both conformations, as well as in up, as well as in down conformation, because this loop is always accessible from the outer solution. But S4 helix is probably not accessible in down state. And the last slide, what I will present to you, it's about other toxin. It's toxin from spider. It's toxin called HM3. Probably Alexander Vasilevsky talked slightly about this toxin. He invented this toxin. He provided us the recombinant version of this toxin, and together we made this structure. This toxin has similar spatial organization with VSTX, but have some difference. It's also not and by the hair. And using micelles as a mimic of membrane, they also see that the toxin interacts with the surface of micelles and also with membrane, and could determine the membrane binding interface of the toxin. Here is shown on a cartoon. And if we add into our system our expressed domain, isolated domain of NIV 1.4 channel, they observe attenuation of the toxin signals that permit to map the binding interface that interacts with the domain. And we see that the toxin interacts with the domain with beta hairpin. It's the same motif what the VSTX used for interaction with sensor from potassium channel. That's all. I would like to express my thanks to the people who participate in this work. It's a lot of people from all laboratories of our institute. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have time for questions. Not too many questions, but maybe next time when you give an even more impressive talk. I was really impressed that you could touch by NMR. Who could dream, let's say 15 years ago, that by NMR we will be following the interactions of a ligand, with the receptor or with the big domain of the receptor. Once again, thank you very much. And